Hey guys, so this is my 2012 BMW 535i F10. I think it's an N55 engine, and this is gone bad. This is the CCV valve, and we're going to be replacing this with a new one. So the only way you can do this is technically by replacing the entire valve cover gasket, but there is an aftermarket part that you can buy from Amazon or eBay, and just replace it with that. So we're going to cut this open. Make sure you guys remove this. One thing to check is before you remove it, if you're having issues, check to make sure this is not clogged, because what happens many times is once you remove the cover, the engine cover, there's a foam underneath that engine cover that kind of looks like this, but this is like rubber, but that's the actual foam which deteriorates, and I've seen where the foam would go inside and block this hole. So just make sure you don't have that issue. Anyway, so in the previous video you probably saw that like we did some testing. I'm going to leave a link at the very end of this video if you want to see that video, how to test this to make sure this is the culprit before you go ahead and replace it. So go watch that video. So let's go ahead and cut this open. I'm going to set my camera and you guys can see it. So this is the kit that I'm going to be using to cut this. Got this from Amazon. It comes with the entire different sizes blade, and also comes with a bit that you go ahead and just stick it to your drill and start the cutting process. Okay, now it's better. I took my new one and put a template circle and cut it with this tool. So now it's not going to throw everything everywhere. So let's cut it now. This way. Guys, make sure you don't go too deep. You'll get a feel when the plastic is getting cut. And don't go all the way to the edge, because you don't want to cut the thing that's going to be sitting on. Cut it right from here onwards. You just need a little bit to get the leverage. So I think okay, now you need to get your heat gun and just heat all around it to the plastic is a little bit soft. Okay, so I tried to save the rubber just to see what it looks like, and I think this is where they get brittle. It's kind of hard to see, but seems like it wasn't really doing its job. This is the spring. I'm not sure where exactly is this in this. Oh, this is a part of this rubber. I don't know if it does anything. So another thing you want to do is before you work on this any further, you may want to block all these holes. Make sure you don't drop anything inside your engine. So one thing I want to show you is the older design had the rubber all around it, and the newer one does not. So that's something you may want to consider. And you know, I'm not exactly sure if it's supposed to be all around or is the new one. That's how they designed it. Not quite sure, honestly. I think it does what it's supposed to do. So we're gonna install it and see how it works. So guys, one thing I do want to show you guys is it's a different PCV valve that comes aftermarket. I could not find this style, so the one that was in my N55 engine was this style, and you know, the videos that you see out there on YouTube, they're replacing that, they're cutting this with this one and replacing it with this one, but they're not telling you that this is exactly not the same as what you're replacing with. I'm gonna try it out and let you know how my car behaves. It may work, it may not work. So now I understand this membrane is all the way till here, but even if you put this on top of this, you know, it covers that entire piece, and in this particular one it's not doing that. I'm not sure how it's going to operate. It might be okay functionally. I'm not sure about the redesign or whatever the case might be. So we'll see how it works, but just wanted to bring this to your attention that it's not 100% exact same replacement. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and since I already got it, I'm gonna replace it. I didn't have that whistling issue. The issue I had was the suction on the cup, and the engine was a little bit rough, so I'll see how it works. Another thing I do want to tell you, after I removed it, don't kill yourself cleaning all around it, because it's supposed to have some kind of groove on top. So when you put the new one, it kind of fits in better, and all you want to do is put glue or whatever JB weld all around it. Don't put on top of this, because I think the reason it didn't work for a lot of people was they're putting too much glue, and the glue will end up coming over here and it can damage the membrane, you know. So that's not something that you want. You do want to make sure you're using the glue just on the walls, because all you really need is for the glue to catch this really good. Later on, if you want, like, you know, better the sealing, you can always apply glue once it's dried out all around it, you know, which is acceptable, but don't put too much glue inside. So we'll see how it works. So for installing this, make sure this spring, this side goes down and the open side stays up. Try to clean it if you can, and take off anything that you have. Make sure you don't drop anything inside. And the way this goes, so the spring kind of goes in like this, and this kind of fits in. So I found out I didn't have to do any cleaning. I think just a matter of the way that you're putting it in, and See, fits in right in. So this is what I'm using, JB weld, and I'm gonna just mix them up. Sorry, it's kind of windy here in Florida today, so let's take this paste and put all around it. Don't put it on top, just nice thin paste. If you don't have a heat gun, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You don't really have to get a heat gun for this job. You can use a blow dryer or something. Only because it makes the job a little easier, because the plastic gets warm up and soft, so it's easier to remove. But even if you don't have it, guys, the outside ring was so easy to remove just by prying it just from one side a little bit. Make sure you don't damage the edges, and it was just a piece of cake when it came out, as you saw in the video. You just need a lot of patience if you're doing this job. So I would just put my fingers around the top part, because you don't want any glue on the top part. Make sure you don't forget the spring, because if you do, you will be in trouble. So put the spring in, and let's aim this thing properly so we don't mess up anything. Make sure it's nice and ready to go and in line. And these guys right here, it goes in with the grooves inside. So I think this is the proper way, and it is okay to turn it a little bit. I think it fits in perfect. So all I'm going to do is just put my finger through all around it, just to give this a nice and good seal. It just sits in properly. So it's all done, guys. Remember to put your plastic piece that you took out from the old one on the new one, and we're gonna let it cure and then test it. Okay, so this is day 2, and looks like it's all cured up, and now we're gonna fire it up and do our testing. So let me start the engine. Pretty consistent. And let's pick up the work. Okay. And I don't have any suction, which is amazing. Before it was locked for the same test with the fire. And you can see not sucking in. It seems like this worked for me. I'm going to put this one back in. Alright, so that fixed the problem. So guys, hopefully this works for you. It seems like it worked for me. No more suction anymore, and no fires being sucked in. So, alright, if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thank you.